Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into a really fascinating moment in the crypto world. Bitcoin, well, it's just slipped below that big $100,000 mark. Right now, it's hovering around what, $99,803. And the big question, I think, for a lot of you listening is this just a healthy pullback, a correction, or is it maybe the start of something more serious? Okay, so let's try and unpack this. We've got a whole stack of sources here, everything from the nitty gritty technical charts to some deep on chain analytics. We really want to get under the hood and see what's truly happening. We'll look at the market structure, those key support levels everyone's watching, moving averages, and importantly, what the blockchain data itself is telling us about how people are behaving. And yeah, how are the big institutions reacting? Is this dip something you should potentially see as a buy signal?
Well, the first thing that jumps out is, yeah, the price is down maybe 4 to 6% over the last day or so. But, context is key here. The market cap is still enormous, roughly $1.97 trillion. And look at the 24-hour trading volume, around $60 billion. That tells you there's a significant liquidity, but also quite a bit of volatility. It definitely sets us up for looking at some, well, contrasting viewpoints.
Yeah, that volume really does show there's a lot of action right now. So, okay, zooming in a bit. What's the immediate technical picture? Our sources are showing Bitcoin did dip below its 50-day moving average. That's often a sign, right? Historically, breaking that tends to signal maybe some corrective pressure, at least in the near term. Analysts seem to be watching for retests near, what was it, $97,000 down to maybe $92,000. That zone where support looks pretty strong. So are we kind of setting up a bearish pattern here, or is there more to it?
Well, exactly. If you zoom out, despite this short-term dip, the sources are pretty clear that Bitcoin is still operating within a rising long-term channel. It's actually holding key support right around $106,000. Now, if that level holds,
That's the key if.
right, if it holds, the next potential upside target could be quite a bit higher, maybe near $125,000. And it's worth remembering, the price has been kind of stuck, consolidating between $100K and $110 for weeks now. That often happens. Volatility compresses before a potentially bigger move, a breakout.
Okay, that makes sense. So beyond the charts, let's go a bit deeper. The on-chain stuff, the sentiment, that often tells a different story, doesn't it? What are those metrics revealing? The direct blockchain data. Are the big players, the whales, actually buying into this dip, or is smart money kind of stepping back for now?
Yeah, digging into that. Active addresses, they're back around early 2020 levels. So it suggests activity is cautious, but it's steady. And here's something interesting. Long position liquidations have spiked, but importantly, without a massive market crash.
Right, so people got liquidated, but the whole market didn't fall apart. What does that usually mean?
Well, counterintuitively, it's often seen as bullish. It means the over-leveraged positions, the sort of weak hands, got flushed out. It kind of clears the decks, leaving a potentially stronger base for price to move up later. It's seen as a contrarian signal sometimes. Plus, the cost basis heat map basically showing where most Bitcoin was bought points to really strong support, around $95,500 and $97,000. And if you connect all these dots, these on-chain metrics, they suggest Bitcoin is still, fundamentally, in a maturing bull cycle. The growth might feel slower, sure, but it seems steadier, following these logarithmic patterns thanks sustained, compounding growth. And we can't forget the institutional side. Major adoption, even nations adding Bitcoin to reserves. Our sources show institutional money is still flowing in, even with these dips. That suggests real long-term conviction, not panic. It really underpins this idea of a durable, structural bull market.
Okay, so putting it all together, what does this actually mean for you, the listener, trying to make sense of it all? We've got this short-term dip, testing support, but also this underlying kind of foundational bullish picture.
Exactly. So to boil it down, Bitcoin is definitely in a corrective phase right now. It's testing critical support, especially after falling below that 50-day average. However, and it's key, if those supports hold, particularly that 97K, 92K zone and the bigger 1 to 6K channel support, well, the overall structure seems to favor an eventual rebound, maybe towards that $125,000 target. The on-chain signals, the institutional flows, they really suggest the larger bull market structure is still very much intact, despite this current choppiness.
Right. So the big question we leave you with is this. Is Bitcoin slipping below $100,000 just market noise, short-term fluctuations? Or is it actually a crucial signal that could really shape things for the rest of the quarter, especially with this mix of immediate correction and that stronger underlying momentum? Something to think about.